Hi, my name is Kendra-NE, and I am an executive recruiter with Opti Staffing Group in Northeast Portland. Imagine a fish tank. Next, imagine that fish tank divided into two sections by a glass partition. Now, on one side of that fish tank, we place a pike. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, a pike is a carnivorous freshwater fish. On the other side, we place a plethora of delicious minnows. A group of Canadian scientists conducted this exact experiment with very interesting results. For hours, the scientists watched as the hungry pike viciously charges the glass partition, repeatedly coming up with a mouthful of sand and a sore nose until finally he gives up. At this point, the scientists remove the glass barrier from between the two tanks, and what do you think happens? Well, most of you are probably thinking something to the effect of lunchtime or bye-bye minnows. Well, the awful truth is this: the pike does nothing. With absolutely nothing to stand in between the pike and a mouthful of delicious minnows, the pike does absolutely nothing. Now, why do you think that is? The pike had conditioned himself to perceive a self-constructed barrier of failure. In his world, he knew that if he tried, he'd fail, and therefore he gave up. Now, as salespeople, we encounter no on a daily basis, and it comes in many forms. Hang-ups, being stood up on a client meeting, tough negotiations, and even a decline of an offer. We are constantly bumping our nose against the glass and coming up with that figurative mouthful of sand. Now, how do we become extraordinary salespeople? Remove your self-perceived, self-imposed limitations to the no. Realize that no happens. But should it deter you from asking for the business and repeatedly asking for the business? The only question I would have for any of you is this: when it comes to making sales calls, repeatedly asking for the business, or closing the next biggest deal of your Opti career, will you be well fed with success or suffering from pike syndrome?